Hey everybody, it's David and I'm back with another video. What I'm gonna start doing now is gonna be going through my whole CD collection. So I'm gonna try to make these videos short, so there will be some letters that will have more than one video. But today is just the numbers. So as you will see, most of my music is Christian music, but there is some mainstream music in there. So let's get going. There's just three groups in the numbers, and this group takes up pretty much a pretty good chunk of it. This is the Christian group For Him, a vocal band group that started back in the 80s. All four of these guys are in another band called Truth, and they went out and started their own band. This is their debut album. Got a few good hits on it. Let's see, Where There's Faith and Living Water, Bread of Life are probably the two biggest songs off of this album. And this is a very good debut from 1990 on the Benson record label. So there's that one. Then they followed that up with Face the Nation. In 1991. So this one had a lot more hits on it, but it was still a very good album. My favorite songs on this album are He Never Changes, Why, Chisel Meets the Stone, Face the Nation, Over the Horizon, A Man You Would Write About, Every Reason to Believe. A lot of good hits off of this album. Then this is the one I probably recognize more for. It's The Basics of Life. This is their third album. Came out in 1992 on the Benson label. It's got The Basics of Life, When It Comes to Living, Fountain of Youth, Through His Eyes, Built on Amazing Grace, Freedom, When It's Time to Go, and my favorite song off the entire album is the last track called The Voice of God. It's an awesome song. So then, as you will see throughout my collection, if you follow every episode, you will see how much I love Christmas music. And this is their Christmas album called A Season of Love. Oh, no, The Season of Love. This came out in 1993. And this one has their big hit for Christian music for Christmas. Around the Christmas time, you hear it just about everybody does their own version of it, and that's A Strange Way to Save the World. But The Season of Love is also a good song. Then of course they do the covers of, White Christmas, The Little Drummer Boy, Oh Little Town of Bethlehem, Away in a Manger, basically what you would find on a Christmas album. But it's really good. Then here's their next album, The Ride. This came out in 1994 on Benson. Again, one of their best. Let's see, Wings. I think their biggest hit that came off of this album would be For Future Generations, which is a real good one. Then there's The Real Thing and Ride of Life. Between You and Me. So that's The Ride from For Him. And then here's their next album, The Message, also on Benson Records. It came out in '96. Again, a lot of great songs on this one. Lay It All on the Line, The Measure of a Man, Land of Mercy, The Message, Center of the Mark, All the Evidence I Need, so it's another one of their good ones. Then here is their next album. I think '98 is when this one came out. It's called Obvious. Yep, and of course I had mine autographed by Mark and Marty. Went to Berean Christian Bookstore. I think it was like on when I was off spring break. They split the guys up, and 2 went this way, 2 went that way, and to promote the new album. And I got to meet Mark and Marty and got them to sign my CD, and it was so cool. But this was a good album too. Can't Get Past the Evidence, Before the River Came, Great Awakening. I think probably the biggest one off this album would have been The Great Awakening. But I really don't need to explain this one. One of their greatest hits. So then they followed the Obvious up with a hymns album called A Place to Worship. They just redid a lot, did their own take on a lot of old hymns. Faith of Our Fathers, Solid Rock, It Is Well, Holy, Holy, Holy. Great is Thy Faithfulness, Fairest Lord Jesus, stuff like that. Boy, a glare on this thing today. Sorry about that. So that's For Him, Hymns, a place of worship. Sorry about that. Then they decided to put another greatest hits album out for some reason. I think by this time the band was getting ready to leave Benson Records and move on to their next record label, so it's probably just Benson doing one more record. I thought they had a new song on this album. Oh yeah, the only thing I need. That's the new track on this album, but it pretty much had all the rest of the hits. Ride of Life, The Basics of Life, Strange Way to Save the World. Oh yeah, and then they also threw on You Are Holy, which was off of a compilation called My Utmost for His Highest. And that was the song they did on that. That's a good song. You'll see that album later on in my collection too. But that was another For Him. Chapter 1, A Decade. Greatest hits album. Then the first one with Word Records, Walk On. Good album. Good album. Psalms 112, Walk On, Let the Healing Begin. Yes, this one did come out in 2001, not long after the attack, the September 11th attack. That song, Let the Healing Begin, was a perfect song to be played on the radio at that time. And, they also had, what was it? Oh yeah, Love Boomerang, One Foot in the Water, those a couple other good hits off of this album. But Walk On by For Him. Then their last album that they released, last original song album. They had one more release after this, but called Visible. At the time it came out, I really didn't like it. I don't know if I was just upset that it was their last album they put out, and it's like mad, and I didn't want to listen to it. I don't know. But now that I've gotten older, this came out in 2003, so I've gotten older. I go back and there's good songs on there. Fill the Earth. It's All About Jesus. What was another one? Visible is a good song. It's kind of funny how you look at things when they first come out, and you're like, ugh. Then years later, you're like, I was wrong with that. That album was pretty good. So, that's For Him. Visible. Their final studio album. This is their final album that they ever put out. It's called Encore for Future Generations. It, of course, was a greatest hits album, but they redid a couple of their songs. I think they redid For Future Generations. Then they, threw like a medley on here with, The Message, The Center of the Mark, A Man You Would Write About, Why. And then they then each of them went on their own and did solo albums. So there's a track on here from each of the guys too. So That's For Him. Encore for future generations. Now we move on to a little bit of hard rock. Then they kind of morphed into pop, man, which, it's okay. Here, Seventh Time Down with Alive in You. This is their debut album on the Beck record label, which is part of Tooth and Nail record label. So it was really some really good rock songs on here. Alive in You, Get Me to You, Jesus Machine, and then it ended with Rusty Nails, which is kind of a slower song. But that's their debut album, Alive in You. Next up, where they really started to take their own, and I forgot you. That came out in 2011 was when they debuted that album. Okay. This came out 2013, Just Say Jesus. This is where they really got popular with Just Say Jesus. Was the biggest song off this album. But I also like Wait for You, The One I'm Running To, Good Life, Nothing to Give, Religious and Famous. Great album. That's Just Say Jesus by Seventh Time Now. And here's a Christmas wish list from Seventh Time Now. Like a little Christmas EP. This Christmas, wish list. And they also did Little Drummer Boy. And that came out in 2014. Still on the Beck label. So that's a Christmas wish list by Seventh Time Now. And then at the same time, they did I guess you'd say an expanded edition of Just Say Jesus. They added a couple songs. Let's see. They added Promises and The Only King Forever to the original part of the album. Then they threw a remix and an acoustic version of a couple songs. Just Say Jesus acoustic and The One I'm Running To remix. The new songs they put on here were just as good as anything else. So that's Just Say Jesus Deluxe Edition from Seventh Time Now. Now here is their next album that came out in 2015. God Is on the Move, which another great album. My favorite song on here is God Is on the Move. Let's see. Pray It Down is another good one. And then they threw Promises on here, which was on the deluxe edition of this CD. So But that is Seventh Time Down with God Is on the Move from 2015. Here is the Brand New Day EP. I think this was 2018, I want to say. Maybe 2017. But this one has I Have Decided, Help Me, Eyes on You, and Brand New Day. Which, I mean, they're all on the album that came out. But at that time, you don't know. I mean, there's a lot of just singles that just go on EPs that don't go anywhere else. So I picked this up, and so anyway, that's Brand New Day EP by Seventh Time Down. Then here's the complete album, Brand New Day, and it came out in 2019. So still on the Beck label. It had I Have Decided, and it had Brand New Day, and also had Help Me and Eyes on You. So it had everything that was on that EP. But you don't really know that when they come out. So, but it also had Let Me Tell You, and The 99, and what was it? Make It Count. So that was a big hits off. Those were good hits off that album. But that is Seventh Time Down's newest release, 2019, of Brand New Day. So. Alright, I got one more group to show you. It's going to be pretty quick. I like this group because a couple of the guys are from Cincinnati. I was born in Cincinnati, so that's one of the reasons why. Another reason is I love Christmas music, and I don't care who does it. That's why I got 98 Degrees this Christmas. I don't care. I love Christmas music. I don't care who does it. So, I don't care. And then I picked up their newest one, Let It Snow, 98 Degrees. Another good album. I don't care. I like Christmas music. Like I said, whoever sings it, I don't care. So that is it. Like I said, I'll try to make these every Tuesday. Every week, every Tuesday. So I don't know what. So hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, give me a thumbs up. If not, that's okay. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.